Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. Your subscriptions are greatly appreciated. This is the daily forecast for Friday the 30th of October. It is timeless in the sense that if you're watching it on a date that's not Friday the October 30th, that's okay. I believe that since it's a message for the highest good of the greater collective, it is meant to reach you when you're supposed to see it. So don't turn it off if you're like, oh wait, it's not Friday, October 30th. You might still be able to use this message in some way, shape, or form. If you do choose to use this message and make decisions in your life, that is your responsibility, so be aware of that. And also, if this doesn't make sense for some reason, or doesn't really feel like it's connecting with you and where you're at in your life, that's completely fine. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means that you might be working on something different. So let's get into this. We're sort of at that midweek energy. end of the week energy, I should say. So some of you might be coming into that history card. Let's see what's going on. What do we need to know for today? Oh wow, look who's back. We maybe aren't going into history just yet. Maybe we're still dealing with that. It's Flannery O'Connor. She's humanity, right? And she is, we talked about her like airy intellect. She was definitely in the midweek on Sunday and she's still hanging out. I feel like she's giving us a bit of a pushback. I feel like there's definitely a connection between her and that Jamaica Kincaid card in the sense of we're figuring out our perspective of what's going on with us, where we connect into our world, how we connect into our world, how are we viewing our world right now? Are we viewing from a place of abundance or a place of lack? That's kind of the egg and the peacock. I feel like there's an intelligence to this woman. There's a shrewdness, an intellect. If we're looking at things maybe analytically, that's completely okay. We want to do that, but we want to be practical, grounded, that sort of a thing. And we want to see things as they are, but also finding the good in all of it, right? That's that peacock. I really feel like it's important that even if we don't necessarily agree with what's going on around us or how people may be treating each other or that sort of a thing, we have to find the abundance or the blessings that are within even the stuff that doesn't really work for us. Jamaica Kincaid was that idea of sort of that, things can appear good or they can appear bad. It really is how we choose to see them and how we sort of filter our present through the history of our past. And I felt like with her laundry pictures, it's us sort of hanging things out to dry, right? Us sort of maybe washing ourselves free or getting ourselves free of sort of the past in our history, right? To me, I feel like there is a focus on maybe the outside world with this humanity card today and looking at where, how we interact with that world. And how we also, by understanding that, I kind of feel like that's where we're able to sort of put that into a space of the past and maybe redefine how we connect, how we see the world, where we fit in our world. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you guys. What are you guys doing? Stop, please. Whatever you're doing in the other room, I don't like all that tap dancing. It sounds like you guys are in trouble. Sorry, guys. It's the dogs. All right, so do you hear them? Like they're out in there tap dancing or something. You'd think it was a tap class. So I kind of think like, be smart, be practical, look at things as they are. But if we're seeing sort of the broken egg that is in one hand, like the broken dreams or things that are, maybe falling apart, we also need to look for the beauty and find the balance of that within to me, this card being humanity speaks to this idea of finding that at a grander scale, right? In our brother man, in the world around us, that sort of a thing. All right, let's see what we have Waxing Crescent number 2, card number 4, which is about bringing stability, and it's acceptance. This is a beautiful card. Again, I feel like what I was just saying, where do we connect into our world? Look at these two hands trying to connect up. How do we feel about, what's going on in the world around us. Do we feel connected to it? Do we feel like we understand it? Do we feel in line with it? Maybe we don't, right? But that's okay. We want to bring ourselves into that alignment through the act of acceptance, through the practicing of, maybe viewing things from a place of peace and beauty versus struggle and strife. And also, the interesting thing, if you look between those two hands, there's that electricity that we saw in yesterday's change card. It feels like that push, whatever we're pushing for, whatever perspective shift we're having, keep pushing or keep accepting, keep trying, right? It will get easier. It will become more sort of comfortable. It will become our new norm, if that makes sense. Our history will become our history. Let me see, got what's going on. What is the grounding stone? So the grounding stone is believe. So if we believe in these changes, if we believe in this acceptance, if we believe in sort of humanity, we can have these changes come about. That's sort of my belief to all of this. This is a really quick reading. I feel like it's a sort of obvious message. I feel like Flannery O'Connor showed up earlier this week. I've already talked about her on Sunday and sort of what she represents. I feel like coming into acceptance and being able to believe in the world around us and ourselves within our world is key right now. It's also going to be key in helping us to find that joy that we seek. Let me read you Flannery and acceptance. Flannery O'Connor, humanity, who we are, reckoning with failure and redemption. Flannery O'Connor from 1925 to 1964 wrote cutting, hilarious, and secretly devoutly Catholic stories about the Deep South. Growing up in Georgia, O'Connor loved chickens and knit coats for her fowl. After graduating from the Iowa Writers' Workshop and hitting her stride in fiction, she contracted lupus and moved back in with her mother. She populated their farm with more than 40 peacocks. So talk about taking a situation, having to move back in with your mom and getting 40 peacocks, talking about taking a dire situation and actually making it, sort of filling it with beauty. That would kind of be a way to deal with it. Get a bunch of peacocks. So it's like making the most out of whatever we have going on, even if it's not exactly how we want it to be. That's also the acceptance that we see in this waxing crescent, and believing that it will get better, that as we accept it more, we stabilize it, we become more at peace with it, then our view of it begins to shift and change, and we can steer ourselves more towards that joy. So waxing crescent number 2, acceptance. Acceptance of the current situation is the first step to change. The past does not exist. The future hasn't happened. There is only right now. I accept where I am and who I am right now. When we examine our lives and engage in some truth-telling, we are often confronted with what really is. The realization is powerful, but often we reject this truth if it is too hard to bear or we are afraid of accepting something so difficult. Each of us at some time has dodged our blind spots and then had the illumination of what actually is eventually confront us. What we do next is crucial. We do accept exactly where we are, no matter how painful or confronting, or do we retreat back into our illusions and remain stuck or unchanging? Choosing to accept ourselves fully and the position we are in enables us to take that next step towards growth. When we can plant our feet solidly into the earth and say, yes, here is exactly where I am and I accept this fully, then we can take the next steps confidently, honestly, and powerfully towards where we now wish to head. Accepting where we are right now in its fullness allows us to also accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there is full order again. This can be an exciting feeling rather than one that generates fear if we hold our new intentions clearly. The companion stone or metal is lepidolite. So I think that's what this is about. This is also about taking the history or our history and placing it sort of behind us and not letting it define us in the now as we move forward. I hope that makes sense, because we've got to remember that Jamaica Kincaid is under this, all kind of pushing this along. Be practical, be intellectual, be witty even, find the beauty even in the disparity, accept things as they are, and you will find that peace and that stability in your beliefs can become, your ability to believe in yourself and those around you all that much stronger. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you and have a great day. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.